Should you be giving up alcohol? Now, for some of you, you're going to scroll straight past this because you're dependent on it to enjoy social occasions, to mask the anxiety that you might be feeling, to unwind after a hard day's work. Now, this is not me telling you whether that's right or wrong. This is just me putting across my own experience with cutting out alcohol from my life and how I've only ever seen improvements. I used to be that person that would go out 3-4 days a week, get pissed, blackout drunk, and just then regret it for the next 2 to 3 days. Countless times I'd have to go out somewhere the next day and all I would then feel is anxiety of, am I going to be over the limit? Can I do this? Can I do that? What did I do the night before? So many questions I just didn't know the answer to. All the while, looking at my behaviour of drinking, what was I doing it for? Was it to enjoy the social occasion more? I very much doubt it. But was it to actually mask the fact that my life weren't really going anywhere? I was in a job that I wasn't happy with, my mental health was deteriorating, I was in a relationship that I just wasn't making work. There was a lot going wrong, but I then had alcohol to take all of that away. I feel like I have to say at this point, it was never an addiction. I was never drinking heavily at home. It was always pretty much around at social settings, but still, it was a problem. My physical health was deteriorating also, my mental health was clearly deteriorating. And this was always then the quickest solution to any of those problems. But eventually it gets to the crunch point where you have to make a decision. Do you just keep going out 2-3 days a weekend to get over these issues that you've got going on? Or do you actually have a little break from something that is causing you to then just prolong this period of plateauing and stagnation, that you're not doing anything? Now, this is not going to be a magical cure for everyone, that you just cut out alcohol and all of a sudden your mental health is improved, your relationships have improved, your physical health have improved. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm saying that this could make a massive difference to your life from day one. Then it gives you the tools to kickstart onto a much more healthier and more productive future where you could pursue that side hustle you've been doing. You could pursue that other career that you wanted to do, or you could start taking steps to look after your physical and mental health. That is where I went. I began cutting out alcohol from my daily routine and my productivity skyrocketed. I could then go out to a coffee shop early Sunday mornings, even if I'd just been out the Saturday night before, because you're sleeping a lot better, you're recovering a lot better. And then I could do a few hours work. I could then I wouldn't then have the hangover for 2-3 days following, so I could then go off and do gym sessions. I could start taking up running. And it really, really has built the foundation of my life now, where I still occasionally dabble and I have a couple of pints here, there and everywhere, but it's nothing like it used to be. I can go months now without having to ever have a drink. And the productivity does not then dissipate because I've got clear goals that I'm focused on time and time again. I've now built my life away from having to have a drink. I can go into a pub and have an alcohol-free beer. Some of you will probably question why you still do that, but it's because Guinness Zero actually tastes decent. And if you don't agree, put it in the comments and I'll happily have a debate with you. But for me, no more does alcohol bring me any joy. And you can go that way too. I have had so many clients that I have made their journeys with, whether it be fat loss or trying to improve their running or their confidence or getting out of their mental health slumps, that by removing alcohol from their diet, everything becomes so much easier. Your diet is easy to follow because you're in a much easier calorie deficit because you're not consuming hundreds and hundreds from alcohol. You're then not making the bad food choices on the night and then in the next day we're trying to recover from it. You're finding time to get more steps in because you're not again feeling slumped for 2 or 3 days. You're not then missing gym sessions and you just have a routine that you can follow week after week. The removal of alcohol from that person's life makes all of that possible. You reintroduce alcohol, suddenly 2 or 3 of those are going to start disappearing. There's a consistent theme amongst clients that don't remove alcohol, and all of a sudden at the end of the week they have excuses. They had an office due, they had this party going on, and they didn't manage to get their gym sessions done. And then the client that has all of that going on but doesn't drink on these events, suddenly they find time to do the same amount. And that is where alcohol can play a massive part in actually making your life a lot more difficult. Now, going full circle back to the start, it is not my job to tell you to stop alcohol or cut it out, and I'm definitely not anti-alcohol. I'm just pro you improving your life, and it might mean making that tough decision of just stopping drinking for 6 months, because I can guarantee if you stop for 6 months and start improving all of those other aspects of your life, you won't want to go back to it to the current way you're doing it now. And if alcohol is your release from high stress, anxiety, mental health issues, then you've got other issues you need to address. You can't keep using that to mask the pain that you're feeling. You need to either talk to someone, join a support group. I've got a few in the comments below for local areas. Or you need to start working on your physical health, because that is how I got out of my mental health slump. Is I worked on my physical health, started doing challenges that really benefited my lifestyle. And before you know it, you're starting to get the improved confidence. The self-belief comes back because you've completed a park run or you've completed a half marathon. And you build on those blocks to keep making further steps to improve your life. And then months down the line, you can start being more optimistic and you're realizing that you're not actually now having a bottle of wine a night or a few beers every evening or loads at the weekend, because you've actually got so many other things that you're now focused on, and you've got deadlines approaching that you need to stick consistent with your training so you can achieve them. So all of this is just for you to think about and weigh up whether the current lifestyle that you're living, where you're dependent heavily on alcohol and escaping from the reality, is that sustainable? Are you wanting to stay doing that for the next few years, 10, 20 years? Or do you need a bit of a wake-up call where you take action and you start veering off on a different course of action that's improving your life, not just keeping it where it is or gradually getting worse? And that's a decision that you need to make. And I'm happy to help people as much as I can. And whether that be reintroducing small amounts of alcohol over time or just going completely off of it, the decision ultimately is yours. Mine is just to tell you my own experience, my experience with clients, and giving you the opportunity to think about, is that where you can start making improvements? And it's worth a thought. Appreciate you watching the video, and if you've got any comments about it or anything that you want to come back to me with, then please just put it in the comments section and I'll happily get you an answer.